Looks like trouble in paradise again. I've got a report that one of my books isn't available on Amazon. I'm investigating with the woman who told me about it, but all my books are live on Amazon and they should be available to you. Of course they don't notify me. When I check, I'm told they're live just like the website I had that got taken out. If you're not getting them, it could be censorship. I have links below my videos to some of the other vendors I use to sell books, but there's also a page on my website called Book Deals, with all the links to all the vendors I currently have. I guess I have to put up so many that the censors can't get them all. Amazon, of course, is an American company and right in the middle of where the censorship war is taking place. I don't have exclusivity with Amazon and can sell through other vendors in other parts of the world as well. I've also noticed that all the links I put under these videos go nowhere, so you'll have to copy and paste them in your browser. If Google doesn't work, try DuckDuckGo or just go to our website, sharonaandivo.weebly.com. Thank you. Clarity is power and they're scrambling our brains. I just chatted with someone from the phone company. When they asked me my phone number, I couldn't remember it. This isn't the first time that this has happened, so I keep my phone company agreement magnetized to the fridge. Central Command. I also have a book with all pertinent information with bank accounts, Wi-Fi passwords, and stuff like that because I can't remember these things either. I have problems with my memory. I have mood swings, which I'm getting after by doing a low-carb diet and by doing good energetic maintenance. I find going through my body and grounding out the negative energy I find is very helpful, and now I do a 12D shield before I go to bed to protect me from attacks at nighttime. Low blood sugar is a problem, apparently, in North America, and it comes from the food we eat. Because so many processed foods are laced with high amounts of sugar, we have become accustomed to eating large amounts of sugar without thinking about it. I switched to stevia and have been baking with it. The only thing with stevia is that it's processed, so I'm looking for natural stevia in the raw. I have many problems with allergies and I'm no stranger to food allergies because I am also a celiac. I have been eating some gluten lately and this may be the reason that my face is breaking out in acne, but also the reason that I've been having trouble with itching all over my body, and these are bad breakouts. Very itchy. No rash, everything just itches. Taking antihistamines helps to calm that reaction, as well as aloe vera plant smeared all over my skin. I had a bad bout last night but managed to get back to sleep by meditating to calm myself down, because by this time my frustration level was through the roof. For the last 2 days my stomach has been sore, like someone had sucker punched me. I recognize this as a reaction I'd had before to gluten, so I'm laying off all gluten and sticking with GF products. Because I have adrenal fatigue, I tend not to deal with stress well. Meditation helps, but I just try not to add stressors into my life. I keep it as simple as possible. Considering I'm supposed to be starting a TV station that is completely unique that will be televised worldwide, I'm glad I'll be getting help and that it's not going to be all my responsibility. I don't question my ability to deal with that level of responsibility, but what will be the cost to me for doing it? Ivo will be shouldering a lot of the work, I can tell you that right now. What I'm getting at here is that I believe many people are beginning to get chronically sick. They have pain syndromes, unusual reactions, just feel off the mark, are tired and grouchy. Things like fibromyalgia crop up where they either weren't recognized before or they didn't exist before. I just think that at least if I had cancer, at least I would have a diagnosis. I haven't been officially diagnosed with anything except being a celiac, but I still manage not to have to work a job. Power of the light working there. What I believe is that I'm not unique. There are many others who run to health food stores and buy supplements because they are tired, have rashes and other things they can't get diagnoses for. I'm doing everything I need to now, at least as far as the YouTube community is saying, detoxing, eating more organic. We can't get everything organic here. I'm off sugar and enjoying it, taking many supplements for low cortisol, low dopamine and more, reading all the right books about metabolic syndrome, adrenal fatigue, etc. I've got the medical mediums and did his celery juice detox until my moods were so extreme I couldn't do it anymore. I have a blood sugar meter, take stuff for high blood pressure, have all these things wrong with me. I can't get decent medical help here in Canada, although I know of friends who have been helped with fibromyalgia and Epstein-Barr virus in Toronto. I'm also detoxing every few days with my foot bath detox. Yet I still have many problems related to hormone imbalances. And that's the point of this video. I believe that those who have controlled the earth have targeted our hormonal systems with drugs, sugar, dentistry, lifestyle, medicine, processed foods, alcohol, and now chemtrails, and the reason they target our hormones is so that we remain weak and unable to think clearly. I know some days I can get really confused. I make a point of not multitasking and keeping lists to keep me on track, but oftentimes my mind just flits from one thing to the next instead of staying focused. And we all know that an empowered human has a focused mind that can manifest or lift blocks large enough to create pyramids. They fear us and they don't want us ascending now. So they've done everything they can, short of killing us all off, which they're now embarking on to keep us disempowered. R.I.P. Nick, my lovely cousin, this world needed you and you left too soon. I believe chemtrails are all part of that. Keeping us disempowered and continuing to be poisoned and breathing in nanos, which is part of their plan to dehumanize humanity. I believe that starseeds like myself are even more vulnerable to these programs because we're highly sensitive. My neighbors can go out and sniff the air all they want and never react. When I do it, I end up more tired and cranky than usual, with many problems on the side related to toxicity and brain poisoning. I've included a PDF by Chemtrail Planet and it states right on the inside page of its pamphlet that EMFs destabilize the hormonal system and disrupts brainwaves. What I believe is it's not one thing, that there are many things that work in unison to try to keep the human from evolving. These things include EMFs, chemtrails, food pollution, water pollution, drugs, and big pharma items, and more. One article I pulled up from DuckDuckGo, good luck finding it on Google Chrome, said. Dr. Martin Pall discovered the nitric oxide peroxynitrate cycle, or what's known as the NO/ONOO cycle. The NO/ONOO cycle, stimulated by all types of EMFs, is a vicious biochemical cycle that is thought to cause such diseases as chronic fatigue syndrome/myalgic encephalomyelitis, CFS/ME, multiple chemical sensitivity, MCS, fibromyalgia, FM, and possibly a large number of other chronic inflammatory diseases. Once this cycle starts, it won't stop. This inflammatory cycle is also found in people with autoimmune diseases, autism, arthritis, and insulin resistance. The body is in a chronic stress state once the cycle starts. This is exactly what I have. We are now using 4G, on our way to 5G, but let's just look at the effect of the 3G over the last few years. A downgrade of our mental state, causing brain fog, depression, anxiety, and all other neurological diseases. With this chronic low-grade depression, there are now 40 million people depressed with 10 million acutely depressed. Many are now on antidepressants. An increase in people not feeling well, and just feeling off. Sounds exactly like me. I haven't even finished reading the second article I researched and I'm already described to a T. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's suffering with this stuff. The article states, an increase in magnesium deficiency. Everyone is deficient in magnesium, and part of the equation could be because of the calcium ion channels and the NO/ONOO effect. This is worsened by the food supply being deficient of magnesium and malabsorption of magnesium due to leaky gut. By the way, do you know what people do when they're magnesium deficient? They become addicted to chocolate. Chocolate has high levels of magnesium, but it also has high levels of sugar and caffeine. Caffeine overuse will burn out your adrenals. The article goes on to say, many people are deficient in iodine, not only in the thyroid but in the heart, ovaries, breast tissue, and adrenals. When we are deficient in iodine, toxins from EMFs, chemtrails, and radioactive iodine clog the receptor sites meant for iodine. 96% of people are low in iodine, and are at risk for many related diseases. The most obvious related disease is hypo or hyperthyroidism, or Hashimoto's, which over 52 million people suffer from. Additionally, low iodine is the #1 predictor of depression. What's more, women with low iodine have 3 times more risk for breast cancer and fibrocystic breasts, as the breast tissue actually carries more iodine receptors than the thyroid. I was diagnosed with a goiter when I was 17. Looking back now, that may have been the most helpful appointment with a doctor I've ever had. They're doing all of this to keep us down and to prime us for the next stage of their diabolical agenda, to dehumanize us. Ivo, so, you have done your research. Me, yes. Ivo, it took you a while to understand this much. When you first became so tired, you lived in a house where Ethernet was still being used. They refused to use Wi-Fi. But that was not to say that the neighbors did not, and this is a problem for all of you who live in cities. You are bombarded by Wi-Fi signals. Me, was that why I saw that stream of energy coming off the 5G tower the other day? That was some kind of hint. Ivo, yes. Now you must learn to reduce the stream of low-level energies coming into your home. Me, wear a tinfoil hat. Ivo, if you had to do so, I am sure you would. Me, lol, yes, I don't care much for appearances. My health is critical now, more so than my appearance. When I look at videos about adrenal fatigue and low cortisol levels, then I'm really only treating the symptoms. You have to get to the root cause of the problem and stop it. Ivo, you are dealing with the toxic load in your body. You are looking at healthier eating alternatives. You are considering wearing painters' masks when they chemtrail. Now you must protect your home from EMFs. These are all the things that must be done these days to retain some level of balance. They target the elderly, of course. The elderly are a problem for the DS because they have gained life experience. Many are brainwashed and afraid, but there are others who speak up and educate the younger people on this planet. Me, I find the young ones are perfectly knowledgeable. They haven't been enabled by our economic system, not like many of the people I grew up with. Many of them had expectations of living a reasonable life if they held down a job, and many of them met with success. But now younger people are finding life is too expensive for them in a market where minimum wage buys only a fraction that the minimum wage could when their parents or grandparents were their age. Plus there is such a push for consumerism, for a materialistic life now. Gadgets are expensive and need replacing every couple of years. So people under 30 years old I find are pretty understanding that they want better for themselves. They blame older people and I think we are guilty. Nobody ever questioned why the housing prices should be so high when it is a requirement for living. What are you going to do? Live under an umbrella? Ivo, they are being prepared to accept a new system. They are ready for it? Me, I don't know, Ivo, that I would care so much about my health if I didn't have so much to do yet. I'm at a point in my life where I stand to accomplish more than I ever have before, but I'm more tired than I ever was before as well. I'm ready to make a huge life change but the money isn't forthcoming. I've been waiting for at least 3 years now, and because I'm not the kind of person to sit and wait patiently, I'm taking matters into my own hands. Things need to move forward. Ivo, very well. Me, I know. You're just sitting there, watching. You know I'm putting all my energy into the goal of landing ships and creating a TV station. I'm at a time where there are many obstacles in my way, but don't think I'll let them stop me, because I won't. I plan to make good on this promise to Earth. It's that simple. I've ordered iodine like the article recommended, and I'm going to look into EMF protection. I know there are everything from electronic gadgets to argon pyramids, so I'll start shopping. It'll be a cold day in hell that I let the DS win. Not gonna happen. Ivo, very good, my love. I see you are as determined as you could ever be. Me, nothing stops a Scorpio once they've got their mind made up. Ivo, and you have all of heaven behind you, absolutely. Me, good. I speak to God often, so I'll work with him on this one as well. Thank you, Ivo. Ivo, what for, my love? Me, for being yourself. Ivo, ah. And the same to you, my love.